Hi, so today in this video I'm going to look at the major transformation that the Irish chart is going through at this time. I'm going to look at both timeline and the highest and the lowest energetics that we can expect to experience. So let's start with this absolutely major configuration that is going on in the sky, the transition of the three outer planets. This is big, slow moving, fundamentally transformational energy affecting two major points in the Irish chart, and these are both they're called cardinal points, and cardinal is a point of new beginnings, endings and new beginnings. So first of all, we have Neptune and Saturn transiting, sitting on the IC, the very base point of the chart, that cardinal new beginning. And this point represents the foundational underpinnings of the country, the territory, its land, farming, ancestral roots, heritage, national identity, that kind of thing. It's like the hidden root system that really supports the people. And it's in Aries, so this is the fighting Irish. And here we have these two major influences going over this point, this base. Saturn, first of all, lord of structure and limitation, and then on the other side, Neptune, lord of the ocean, boundaryless and dissolving. And when these two came together at 0 degrees, Aries really representing a new beginning in the whole structure of our world, and also the melting down of the old, that was when all the Epstein files came out. So these two meeting together on the base of this chart is representing an absolutely fundamental dissolving of old illusions or old beliefs about how the world is structured, really, and basically how the Irish power system is structured. In the Irish chart, these guys wrap themselves around the IC, Saturn and Neptune, giving us sort of like authority figures on one side with Saturn and limitation, and on the other side, Neptune's there with his lapping steady waves ready to wash away the foundations, whether he's in his highest manifestation of, Neptune in Aries, the spiritual warrior, or he can work in his lower manifestation of, fog and confusion and delusion, what's going on, misinformation. Neptune rules glamour, the media, Hollywood, so hype and spin. And Saturn is sitting around this area of the chart until December. The intensity kind of eases towards the end of the month as he moves off. And then he comes back again in November and December to really re-explore that energy. Yeah, with Neptune having a much slower passage over the IC, and he's not actually going to be moved off completely until April 2028. So big, very deep, long-term changes, transitions in the whole of Irish society. At the same time right now in Aries, touching that really vital part of the natal chart, the North Node, we have two asteroids, Chiron, the wounded healer, and Eris, the goddess of strife and discord. And they are sitting on a real power point in this chart, because as well as having the North Node there, the North Node of destiny, our place of hope, our place of delight and happiness, we also have natally the sun there, the soul of the people, and Venus, what we value. So this is the house of creativity, of children, the king, the musician, the poet, and of course with Venus there, conjunct the sun, there is that gift of the gab coming in. And of course this whole point is in Aries, so we're back to the whole thing of the spiritual warrior. And we have Chiron here, exposing any wounds around the arena of destiny, leaders, what we value, heart and soul. And this is a wound that is very large. We have Chiron conjunct the ascendant of the natal chart. So there is again, a wound on the cardinal point. It is fundamental. This need to explore the wounds and to heal them within the chart itself. So Chiron has been sitting here for a while now, since 2025. So the wound has been festering. And Eris, the female warrior, is also sitting with Chiron. And she, at her lowest vibration, is chaos. So chaos to do with anything medical, viruses, etc. In her lower energetic, she used to be called Discordia by the Romans, but her higher aspect, she's that again. It's a spiritual warrior. She's a woman. It takes a lot to get her to actually fight, but when she does fight, she becomes unstoppable. She's the woman that lifts the bus because there's a child underneath. She only fights for peace, justice, and clarity, and equality is hugely important to her. She needs everyone to be seen and have a voice. So these two together are absolutely sitting on this North Node, triggering any wounds, any needs to stand up and fight for clarity and justice. And actually, natally, we have Eris right on the IC, that base point, the root point of the Iris chart. So just really saying that feminine warrior energy is fundamental to this nation state. And of course, Common and Ban were fundamental in terms of the revolution and actually getting freedom of the Irish state. The chart that I'm looking at now. Right, so now let's look at what is going on absolutely this week. So today, which is the 15th of April, we have 4 personal planets this week passing through Aries, triggering all the Aries points that are here, both in the natal chart and the planets that are hanging out here. And as they go along, they're going to be mingling their energy together. So they're going to go through Neptune. Personal planets are very, they're inner triggers for all of us. They're energetic. They're the small men. They're the people. They're the feelings within. They're the way we think, the way we communicate, and what we feel. And there's a lot of triggers coming in there because we have the sun mingling his energetic on that North Node with Chiron and Eris, shining a spotlight on the problem of ways forward and any wounds relating to that. At the same time, we have Neptune and Saturn sandwiching Mars, the fighting Irish, the warrior, right between these two big giants, stuck there, the little guy, sandwiched right on the IC, on the base, on the roots of the chart. This is the people. Mars is a personal planet. He's in his own sign. He's going directly forward. He knows where he's going. He knows how to get there. He's coming home. He's totally at home in this sign. He's exalted here. And then he meets Neptune. Oh my God. Fog, mist, confusion, media, hype, spin on one side. Saturn's on the other side. The boss, the law and order, discipline. And Mars has choices here. He can bang into the brick wall, which he kind of quite wants to do, or he can do disciplined work. And he can climb his way over the wall. He can ascend the peak. One manifestation of Mars-Saturn is the military. Slow, steady, considered progress. The energetic of this conjunction is commonly known as driving with the brakes on, which I had to laugh at with all the go slow on the motorways. It's just the perfect manifestation, my goodness. So looking at tomorrow on the 16th, we're heading into a race here with all these exciting personal planets. On the 16th, we have 2 more personal planets coming in to stir up the mix. That is the moon, who is our emotions. Now she's likely to get pretty emotionally triggered by every planet she touches because the situation's pretty tense. First of all, she touches Mercury, getting some emotionally triggering news, and that it's also Mercury's conjunct Neptune, so it could be hype and spin, could be news that's misunderstood or misheard, could be deliberate deception. We don't know. The moon then meets Mars, and being very psychically attuned, she's then angry, and these guys are really right on the IC, the base of the chart. So this could be the people, possibly lashes out because she's emotional. And then she meets Saturn, the harsh father figure, who comes in to break it up and bring in the law and order, lay down the law. So that is just tomorrow. That's an exciting day. And then on the 17th, we have this absolutely extraordinary lineup of this new moon in Aries with 8 planets in Aries. First of all, this new moon is absolutely conjunct the North Node of Destiny in the Irish chart. It is conjunct the Sun. It is conjunct the Venus, the soul, the values, the land, the people, what we love. This really highlights a new beginning in the destiny of Ireland, and at the same time, it also connotates an ending, because this new moon is at 27 degrees. It's very close to the anaretic degree, the end of the sign where things end. So it's both planting a seed and yet it's that ending, new beginning, because something has to end that something new may come in. Then we also, right on the IC of the chart, we have somewhat sandwiched either side, fascinatingly, we have Neptune and Mercury. And Mercury, communication, travel, how we think, internet travel. There's a lot of fog, confusion, misinformation, disinformation on one side in the country, and on the other side, Mars, Saturn. That could be martial law, that could be, it could be the army, or it could be just very disciplined people working in harmony in order to build a bridge to get over the divide. And there is a level in which this energetically works out well for both parties, because the new moon is in beautiful trine to Saturn up here in the 9th house at the top of the chart, the official, the traditional rulers. And he's also got working in harmony with Uranus, the rebel. Up here, there's an opportunity here. This is the sextile. There's an opportunity to be taken at this new moon by both sides. And underlying all this, we also have the influence of that other outer planet, Uranus, the great awakener, the revolutionary, heading towards that other cardinal point in the chart, that point of endings and new beginnings. Now, right now, he's sitting in the 6th house of daily work and health and healing, disrupting any stability there at all, as well as being at the anaretic degree, that last degree of a sign, which brings out the very, very worst of that energetic. So here he is in Taurus, where we want physical security in terms of our daily work and our health service, but we're just not feeling this. And Uranus is in this challenging square to Saturn. I spoke to you there about the authority figures up here in the last degree of Leo. Behaving at their most kingly, their most egotistical, the very worst of structure, representing governments and institutions, right, in the public arena of this mid-heaven. So this is the most public part of art, the mid-heaven where it's all seen. This will ease towards the end of the month when Uranus goes into Gemini on the 27th and his energetic shifts into a new way of being. And at that point, he makes a beautiful trine to Jupiter, Lord of Expansion, in the 3rd house. This is all about travel, communications, plans, aspirations, exciting new opportunities coming in. So big picture wise, we are going through this major transition, this major change into a completely different reality. Small picture wise, this is a big moment within that change, within that larger momentum of change. And what happens in the next week will be absolutely fundamental to how the energy goes in the rest of this transition. Exciting times. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give me the thumbs up. Please do subscribe, and thank you for listening.